I'm going to go through some details about our electric service for our ADU. Hopefully they'll help you out. So just some details to get started with how this works is PG&E owns the wire up to this point where it connects to this riser here, and then they also own the meter, and I am responsible for the main panel here and everything else. And for my ADU, I have a separate address for it, and that's going to require another meter here, so a dual meter panel. There might be other configurations for how to set up the 2 meters. For example, you might be able to put one on the ADU itself, but where I live, both of the meters have to be in the same location. So this is my main house, the street's over there, the ADU is gonna be way back there, so it's all got to be here. And my plans that I got from the city that are pre-approved, they called for a 225 amp sub panel for the ADU, and that is to accommodate future battery hookup. So they want a 225 amp bus bar, basically capacity for future storage of solar power. And in order to do that, this 125 amp main panel, where it says right here 125 amps, single phase 3 wire, would not be able to handle that. Also, some other details that might help understand what's going on here is that's a 125 amp breaker that is the power coming into this panel from PG&E, and then these other circuits here, 100 amps, that's going to a sub panel inside my house that is basically controlling all the circuits in my house. And then these 2 circuits, 50 and 30 amps, those are for an old pool and spa, which we don't have. There's other videos about us demoing the pool, and so they're off, and we won't even be using that anymore. So what we essentially have is a 125 amp main panel and a 100 amp sub panel in the house, and we need to come up with 225 amps and a sub panel for the ADU. And my plans that are pre-approved from the city would require us to upgrade the main service coming in from 125, or in this case it's probably a 200 amp, a wire that can handle 200 amps, and then we just happen to have a main panel that's only 125 amps. It would require us to upgrade that to like 320 or 400 amps at the main panel in order to accommodate the 100 for the house and the 225 for the ADU sub panel. In order to do that, PG&E would have to upgrade this wire and also potentially upgrade the transformer up there just to get that many amps down to this house. And there's already a wire in that gray conduit going to this house with that ADU, and I can see 3 connections to the transformer with the black wires down low. And I had an electrician come out here and tell me that it was going to be $10,000 to $15,000 to have that upgrade to 400 or 320 amps here. And what he encouraged me to do is, and another electrician confirmed this, and some videos I watched confirmed this, that you don't need, for a 1,000 square foot house and a 900 square foot ADU, even all electric, you don't need 400 amps or even 320 amps. You're using way less than that. And so they're having me, and I talked to the city of planners, and they said we can do this. We just have to change the plans, and it's like a revision on the permit and it's good to talk with your sort of planning department to kind of go through those processes, but they're helping me out making this smooth to where I just have to email them updated plans, and they'll handle the rest for me because it's such a small change. We're going to have a existing panel, our existing main service 200 amp wire here is going to go to a dual meter panel, and it's going to be a panel that is rated for 225 amps to fulfill the requirement for the potential battery hookups in the future. And then we're going to have sub panel 100 amps for the main house, which is what we currently have, and 125 amps for the ADU on a sub panel out there, and both meters will be here. And that means we don't have to have PG&E engineer and update anything on their end, and they're just going to have to disconnect while we set up the new panel main here with the dual meters. And I'll be working with the electrician to do this because this was the part of the ADU build that I was least familiar with, and so that's why I'm making this video, especially because it's confusing for a lot of people, including myself, who has been working in construction for 5 or 6 years. So yeah, really that's all that's going on. And then from here we're going to have underground conduit around there out to the back ADU up into the sub panel. And if anyone has any corrections, or if I said anything wrong, please correct me in the comments. I want to help people get the details and facts straight on how to handle all this. I hope that helps, and have a wonderful day.